I think peer-to-peer is probably the oldest form of free commerce. It's essentially two people meeting and exchanging or selling goods just as individuals without any facilitation by anyone. We've split peer-to-peer into two categories. We have the offline Recommerce, which is like in-person thrifting or garage sales or that kind of really old school thing that where you meet with someone face to face and you're selling your goods that you have in your household. It's quite regional due to that fact. And there's not necessarily a lot of shipping or payment facilitation because it's face-to-face transactions, so it might be cash-based, or then you have something like Venmo there. But it's effectively, maybe Venmo has been the, or kind of in Nordics, maybe mobile pay or similar have been the biggest disruptions here, that you can all of a sudden exchange money digitally when meeting face-to-face. But it's super social. The trust facilitation might be social, so if I might do some background checks as who is this person and define where do we want to meet, whether it's at a Starbucks or whether it's at our home or what would be the kind of place where I feel comfortable doing this peer-to-peer transaction. Now that's like the offline Recommerce side of things. Then we have another super old school, which kind of peer-to-peer version, we could call it social Recommerce. And the only thing that is added there is a social platform. So it's a Facebook group, or it's, for example, Facebook Marketplace, or Craigslist, or in Nordics, Blocket might be a good example. So these are classified sites where someone just kind of puts it out to the world that I have this thing, please be in contact if you need it. Old school classifieds might be like newspapers or even like bulletin boards at a community center or similar, where the idea is that you just make it, kind of post it to the world that I have this thing. And these are super large markets also. We're talking about hundreds of billions, but they're maybe a bit less efficient since it's based on pretty much just connecting people, but not facilitating the actual transaction in between. Lately in the market, you've seen some players kind of starting to expand from this space towards the consumer-to-consumer transaction facilitation. So in Nordics, you've seen Blocket starting to kind of offer also shipping and payments facilitation between the two peers being selling and buying goods. One could quite kind of easily see Facebook Marketplace adding maybe payment facilitation, or adding some trust facilitation in saying that, okay, this is a profile that have existed for tens of years, so it wasn't spun out yesterday in order to do a scam or similar. So there are things where social platforms can try to kind of elevate their profile here. I think Nextdoor in US is a good example where they've kind of, again, on a neighborhood level, tried to facilitate some Recommerce happening there.
The challenges sound that they are a little bit different on the online and offline. So in offline, it's probably about the discoverability and how wide is your market if you are just selling local. And then online, where you have a lot of potential sellers and buyers, it's probably a lot on the trust.
Yeah, the larger audience comes at the cost of maybe potential scam. But yeah, the more offline you are, the more local you are, there's like inherent trust built into it, but then it's the discoverability. But this is also where things like AI is super interesting. So now we are in a world where people snapping a photo of an item, kind of that, an AI can already from that photo in a decent quality authenticate or inspect what is this good, even grade it, even give it a value, which makes this like $600 billion worth of untapped, unindexed goods sitting at the households of Americans, for example, a interesting potential for supply. So, and this supply is like, it could be flowing to peer-to-peer, it could flow to C2C platforms. Most of the C2C platforms have already implemented a kind of a listing experience where it's all about just taking a photo and then AI covers the rest. But it's also interesting for corporates and that are looking to take back their goods or buy back their goods, or getting the knowledge that, hey, someone's selling their old TV, maybe now would be a good time to sell them a new one. So it is this kind of digitization driven by AI, which is making a lot of interesting disruptions in the let's say indexing of the supply side of things.
It sounds like there are these shared challenges between all of these segments, that there has to be trust and also on the single item level. So you need to know that this is a real item and this is a real listing.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the same stuff if anyone has watched, those TV shows where they go and hunt for collectibles in garages and kind of abandoned houses and so on. And then you have those people that have dedicated their life in identifying rare finds, and then usually they know a friend who knows this product category, and then they go ask like, is this the real thing? Or so it is super interesting kind of scenery. It's even so interesting that you can make TV shows about it.